Hey, everybody. Before we get to the Move podcast for today, stage 12, make sure you stick around till the end of the show. We have a special guest. Matteo Jorgenson is joining us from the team bus on the way home from the stage. If you watch the race, a fantastic stage for him, although probably disappointing, but really cool for him to come on. So make sure you stick around to the end. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Move podcast, brought to you each and every day of the summer by Ketone IQ, made by HVMN. We've got some HVMN action coming up here in the next couple days. I'm getting ready. Anyways, more importantly, talking about stage 12, won by, check this out, Ion Izagirre, but the correct spelling, this is crazy, is I-O-N. But he was like, yeah, I don't want to, Ion doesn't want to mess with people, so they just call him John. From the Basque Country, been a pro since 2010. Pretty awesome. But Alain, what happened where did we go? Stage 12. Stage
12. Roanne to Belleville-en-Beaujolais. Roanne to Belleville-en-Beaujolais.
Ooh, it never fails. I fucking love that. God, I love it. Before we get into all the action, today's show brought to you by Montcush. Montcush was created in 2019 by our good friend, Sully, trying to help out his daughter, Devin, with a medical condition. Montcush grows its own organic hemp in Vermont, which, by the way, is a beautiful, beautiful location, and uses a custom 200-ton press to extract pure rosin. All the customer reviews, they rave about it. I know George is an avid user. We snapped some pictures of him yesterday, rolling it up on his back. Yep. After he was all sore. Special technology too. They utilize a groundbreaking nanotechnology called SENS, which is self-emulsifying nano delivery system. No stain and no stink. You can lather it on. The more, as they say, more is more. Some people say less is more. Those folks at Montcush say more is more. So just it doesn't matter either if you're just an amateur, if you ride once a week, if you ride every day, if you ride twice a day a week, it doesn't matter. This is perfect for you. If you're in pain, go to Montcush, so you know that's with a K, M-O-N-T-K-U-S-H, montcush.com. Use the code THEMOVE, gets you 30% off your entire order. Again, montcush.com, use the code THEMOVE. Also today brought to you by Element. We got it sitting right here, our hydration go-to. I mean, this is the one as it's now, well, we've been sweating because we ride later. We get done with this, it's already sort of heating up here. Of course, where we're from, it's a hell of a lot hotter than this. We're a little spoiled. Yep. Some of us. But it gets hot. So we hit the Element religiously. 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, 60 milligrams of magnesium. There's no sugar, no gluten, no BS in it. It is the real deal. Our listeners can get a free Element sample pack with any order when you head on over to drinklmnt.com/themove. Again, that's drinklmnt.com/themove. Dial in the flavors.
And I started a little hack, by the way, which I heard from Huberman. One full glass of Element tea in the morning before anything, before coffee. And I started doing that.
Seriously?
While I'm here to get you nice and hydrated to start the day.
I mean, you waited 12 days?
No, I just I had lunch with our friend Pam, and she told me about it, and so I started doing it.
And
too.
on the cold mornings,
I'm feeling good.
You can drink it hot, like the chocolate one.
You can, yep.
Have you done that yet?
No, but nobody tells me these little life hacks. Pretty amazing. Anyways, Ion Izagirre. I mean, here's a team. What was the Cofidis' second stage win in this tour, and they hadn't won one in. Boy,
what was it, 15 years or something?
It was some astronomical amount of time. I thought he rode a great race. I mean, this was a very hard stage. Again, I know I nerd out on this all the time, but yet another day of 10,000 feet of vertical climbing. I just can't stress enough what that's going to. I say it every day. Every day is 10,000, 10,000. The final week, that is going to add up, but the break went away. The stage was super aggressive early on. I thought he rode a brilliant race.
Yeah, you saw the breakaway. There was no panic cookings in the breakaway. These are all serious riders. Top 20 GC riders rolling away. I think it was about 14 guys that ultimately made the final with lots of action. Van der Poel going away solo. A breakaway like that with such strong guys is really hard to know what's going to happen. But Izagirre, took the bull by the horns, went for a solo attack in the final 30 kilometers. Really was the guy that had the most left in the tank. The guys behind were still really strong, but they didn't work together as well as they probably should have. And it was just an incredible victory for Izagirre and the team.
And as they were chasing, I mean, if you're just looking at cycling from a tactical standpoint, I mean, I thought he timed his attack right. But look what was happening behind when there were those 6 or 7 guys going. He had a teammate in there, Guillaume Martin, which is you can't imagine how that changes the dynamic. Obviously, he gets a free pass. He gets to just sit on. Even with strong guys, it just nullifies that chase effort just enough. Tactically, they rode, for a team that hasn't won a bike race in, I don't know, since the 20th century, pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's ideal scenario. 2 guys on the same team making a breakaway like that, where you have guys like Wout van Aert. Even for a minute, you saw Yates and Pogačar sort of attacking there early on. It was a very, very hard start, maybe one of the hardest starts of the Tour. So these guys, they went in with a tactic, had more than one guy in the breakaway, and used those numbers. And today, they was just a really incredible ride.
That had to be frustrating for Matteo Jorgenson, who kept attacking because that group wouldn't work together. And, maybe he thought he could bridge, but, if they did work together and caught it, he would have had a good fighting chance.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating. I get it, but he's moving up in the rankings. His best place thus far in Tour de France was today, 3rd place. But not only that, he's making the hardest breakaways that there can be to make. He made it the other day, rode away solo. He's made it again today. Finished 3rd, just a little bit behind Izagirre. But the point is, he's gaining confidence and he's getting better as the race is going past the halfway mark. So I imagine we're going to see him in a lot more breakaways to come. Trying to get him on the show. By the way, I texted him, but we'll see. He's probably in the bus, still going to the hotel. But it'd be fun to have him on at some point.
I think Outcomes had him as a pick.
Oh, they did
for today.
Yeah,
so
that was a good pick.
If Johan and Spencer are seeing a lot of promise in him, that says a lot.
I wonder what the odds were on Izagirre. They had to be a lot. Somebody made some money. Speaking of Cofidis, and just as a little background, I have history with this team. Right, I was Motorola ended in 1996. I think at the Tour signed with Cofidis. It was their first year as a team in 1997, and of course, shortly thereafter, that I had signed, I got diagnosed, and it was a bad situation. They were. Candidly, they were not supportive, and so. But whatever. But the team is still around, right? This is now we're in what is that? It's 26th year, and for them to no sponsor really stays around that long in any sport. But for them to come back like this, I'm going to give them a boomstick, and I'm going to give. Where's my boomstick? Yep,
boomstick.
I know. We're going to bury the hatchet with Cofidis a little bit just for the day, but I'm giving the boomstick.
I was just about to say, wait, this is a whole new lance. And then you throw in just for today.
No, all right. Let me practice some Namaste. Hold on a second. Gratitude, graciousness, Namaste. All that boomstick. I'm going to give it to our old teammate Cedric Vasseur. You were asking me, JB, but something has to be different about this team, right?
Right.
Different riders.
Something.
A lot of times you bring in.
I'm proud of you, Lance.
I know.
Very proud
I
of you.
asked him. I was like, "What did they change? Did they change director? What did they change in this team to ignite them?"
Well, you look at these teams. There has to be a change like that. You either bring in new management, new coaches. Obviously new riders, but the management and the coaching and the structure of the team is really the thing that makes the big difference. They brought in Cedric Vasseur, who was on Postal with us, who was a good rider. It was funny. He was back in the day, is a little swarmy, but I liked Cedric.
Yep.
Back in the day when we raced, no, and I mean no French rider spoke English. Cedric Vasseur spoke perfect English. I remember when he was on Gone, I think before that, I was like, why does this dude speak English? Which obviously made the connection easier for us to bring him onto the team. He was a very strong rider. He spoke our language. And, now he's running that team. I mean, if you look at it, you're like, all right, what's the difference? You guys have been around 26 years. You've sucked almost all the years. What's the difference, right? And that's why I'm going boomstick for Cedric.
Yeah, I think he's bringing a bit more of an international appeal to the team. And there's no doubt, like you mentioned earlier, how important management and staff is now in teams. In fact, a lot of the riders are taking way less money when they're comfortable with, the coaching staff and the management behind the team. They're actually taking less money because they want to go to a program that's going to help them build and become better riders. So that's definitely happening a lot more in pro cycling these days.
And I shouldn't say they sucked for 26 years, because in 1998, they rode a really good Tour de France. You had Julich on the team.
Yeah.
You had Livingston on the team. You had Meyer on the team. I even believe the French kid that was on the team won my favorite jersey that year, the polka dot jersey. They were strong in 98. That was really, honestly, that's the only decent year that they've had. They had some good years, I should say, as well, with Frank Vandenbroek, but it's been dim for 26 years. It was a long time.
I'll tee that up for Johan on JB Squared today, see if he has any more intel on what's taking place on that team.
Yeah.
I think they're just coming in now with the win early on. This happens in teams, in organizations. You get a win early on, all the pressure's off. Whatever happens after that is fine. It's all bonus. So these guys are going in, I feel like, nothing to lose. Might as well go all out, make the breakaways, and take the chances they got, because they got the early success. So Victor Lefebvre really set up this team to be successful in this Tour de France, and we're not done seeing them in the breakaways this year.
I agree.
And another seasoned, older rider when it becomes tactical.
Yep.
That's kind of, we've seen that a few times.
There's not a lot of guys in this peloton that have been a pro since 2010. What a good year for the Basque. I mean, the Tour started there. The Basque are riding well, obviously Pello Bilbao. But to your point, George, about, I always like to think of, you're talking about just morale in the team. To me, it really comes down to, obviously in the race you want to have good morale, but to me, it comes down to the dinner table and the bus ride. And it's just, what is that vibe at the dinner table when you're all sitting around together and you haven't won a stage, right? And let's say you're 2 weeks in, you're expected to win a few stages, you haven't won a stage. Those people are sitting around crying in their pasta, right? A team like Cofidis that nobody expected anything from, Lefebvre wins early. Dinner table morale is immediately 10x. After tonight, it's not 20x, it's 100x. This thing just keeps multiplying. They'll keep racing hard. I believe it.
Yeah, the French team, Cofidis, has the whole country of France super excited. We had Pinot up in the breakaway today, which caused a lot of stress back in the peloton. We saw Ineos and somebody else was helping to keep Pinot from within creeping into that, top 5, top 6 general classification. So we're starting to see a whole lot of different things going on. Not only people going for race wins, but people trying to protect their top 10 overall, which is giving teams like Jumbo a break, albeit I didn't love seeing Thies Benoot up there in the breakaway today, and Wout van Aert going all out to get in the breakaway after what we know is coming in the next 3-4 days. I feel like these guys should have been sitting back and trying to rest up for these really hard days to come.
I was surprised at how much Pogačar and Vingegaard were matching and sort of watching each other early in the stage. It's somebody's going to have a really bad day. These are really hard days. We have a lot more to go. And they were straight up racing in the first hour. I'm like,
yeah.
Maybe
I think they kind of had to. It was so hard that it's just.
Do you?
You don't. There was just no control. Not one team was up there controlling. It was just random guys. So the GC guys decided they needed to be up there as well because their guys couldn't really control it as a team. So it's just the racing is so hard that we're starting to see some strange things going on, like Jonas and Pogačar trying to get off the front early on.
JB, I don't know if it was you that asked it or maybe one of our viewers asked it early in the tour. They said, what would happen if there were no teams and it was every man for himself?
It was a listener question.
It was a listener question. So if for that listener, if you're listening right now, the start of a stage like today, that's as close as you're going to get to that. It was every man, even though obviously we have teams. There were just people everywhere, guys getting dropped. Communication's probably not that good. Guys looking around going, shit, what do I do? That's as close as you're going to get to it.
And it took a long time.
Which is like
a couple hours of full-on attacks, breakaways. Sepp Kuss was stuck behind, dropped, which we don't love to see. So it was so hard. And if a guy like Sepp Kuss, who's obviously one of the world's best climbers, is getting dropped early on, means he's having a little bit of a rough day. Hopefully not dealing with any kind of illness because Jonas is going to need him the next few days, but that just is an indication of how difficult that start of the race was.
Y'all heard it here. The man with the hammer is coming for quite a few folks in the last half of this tour.
Do you think this Tadej Jonas thing is just it's just a mental battle? The juggling around, the little challenges here and there.
Well, sure.
They're trying to show like mental dominance. Like
sure. And George, you commented on this as we were watching. Pogačar sprinting.
Yeah, for 12 place.
Didn't get it. By the way, didn't get it. You got third or whatever he got. But yeah, sprinting. Yeah. I do not understand that. There's no reason.
PJ wrote me. He's like, "Can you explain why he's sprinting?" I'm like, "Actually, I cannot explain."
Yeah.
I mean, Lance and I looked at each other like, "What is he doing?" Especially after what happened last year on doing all the same similar sprints for 8th, 9th, 10th place. Like, just save everything you can. This is Tour de France. This is a hard week coming up. You should go all in for that.
Yeah. We'll talk a little bit about tomorrow, plus of other couple fun things. Today's show also brought to you by Huckberry. Huckberry is building the future of retail for active, adventurous guys. Where style and adventure converge, millions trust them as their one-stop men's shop for discovering and shopping well-crafted and curated products. I know I get my Huckberry newsletter every day. By the way, I don't know how the hell they send out such cool newsletters on a daily basis. I mean, is this like it's unbelievable? And not only is the content great, the products that they're very thoughtful about. They're not just shoveling you a bunch of crap, right? The products are cool, and you know.
Can I show you this jacket?
Ooh,
this is sick.
Look at JB.
I brought it just to show.
Almost, JB.
They sent me this cool jacket.
Oh, he's taking the headphones off and everything. Now this is a runway here.
Look at this.
No, it is good. That's good.
Is that slick or what?
Yeah.
Just thought I'd share.
Yeah.
How you doing?
You gonna take that back to Austin in August? Hang it up for a few months?
No.
Some of my favorites are the 72-hour tee. It's the ultimate travel T-shirt. Doesn't wrinkle and really doesn't get funky. So for you dudes out there, you know what I mean. Like you can just wear it and wear it and wear it. Also, I love the waxed trucker jacket. We've done a little special curation ourselves for the We Do crew, myself, JB, and George. If you want to see the stuff we picked out, go to huckberry.com/themove. 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 By the way, also based in Austin, Texas now. Also today brought to you by Roka. Roka has invented a completely new class of eyewear. Glasses optimized for performance. No other eyewear brand can keep up with these guys and gals. The stuff they're doing, they're kicking ass. Not only do they look great, they work great. If you're out there hustling and sweating, they've got the no slip feature. They will not fall off your face. The optics are the best in the world. Crystal clear, fog resistant, and scratch resistant. And not only are a bunch of pro cyclists wearing them, not just in the men's field, but also in the women's field. A lot of other badasses, Green Berets, world champions in other sports, Navy SEALs, and also hand-built in our hometown of Austin, Texas. The Move listeners get 20% off. Just go to Roka, ROKA.com. Again, that's Roka, ROKA.com. Enter the code THEMOVE for 20% off. Last one of the day, and we're going to have some fun. When is our ride with Michael?
Saturday.
So Michael, the CEO of HVMN, of course, the maker of Ketone IQ, the folks who invented the world's first drinkable ketone in 2017. He's coming. I think he's going to even come on the show, but then he's going to go on a, and this guy's like a badass, like runner. I think he's like 230, 240.
Last year, I saw him no less than 20 times running around Aspen.
Good. So he's been training for a year. It must weigh, $135 dripping wet, but he's coming on a mountain bike ride with us Saturday.
Michael, you better be ready. This boy over here is fit.
Let me tell you something.
He's fit this year. It's kind of annoyingly. He's annoyingly fit. He's trying to drop me.
Annoyingly fit.
Well,
there's a shirt.
Happened yet.
Listen,
he's out. He's out pull up in me. He's out push up in me. But
that's not even close.
You better be ready, Michael.
This whole thing of human optimization. This is a key piece of it, and we talk about a lot of products on here that we really, really believe in, and we use in our daily regimen.
I'm gonna take a sip of mine right now.
Yeah, hit it. You better.
I'm missing something. Was he kind of talking smack about?
No, I don't know. I just like to make these things up so that it's fun. It's
built
funner.
a story in your head.
It's funner to go kick somebody's ass. But seriously though, Ketone IQ is a game changer, not just for physical strength, but also for mental clarity. You can save 30% off your first subscription order of Ketone IQ over at hvmn.com/themove. Again, that's hvmn.com/TheMove. I got a funny text message from a friend of mine in the venture space, a young lady the other day, and she said, I don't know I didn't even know she exercised. She says, just so you know, you have me by.
Repeat that the way you said that. It's kind of funny.
No, she's awesome, super smart. She talked about mental clarity. This chick's smart. But she says, you now have me taking ketones. Yeah. I was like, you're listening to a Tour de France show. Yeah. Another cool thing.
Which, by the way, we ran and started getting interrupting. We ran into like 3-4 people on the trail yesterday. And they're like, "Oh, you're going to say that?"
I was about to open my. You go ahead.
No, well, it was funny because, on the etiquette on the trails is uphill gets right away. So we were going downhill. We pull over, and they would just stop. Like, man, I don't even watch cycling, but I love watching y'all's show. Like 3 different people said that, and it's kind of fun. We appreciate y'all for watching us, even though we talk a lot of shit most of the time. But we appreciate the love.
It turns out people like it when other people talk shit. And that guy, the fellow on top of Rim Trail, said that. And then you're leaving out one really important piece of that ride yesterday, George. The how you doing that we passed. A really cute young lady, and she was like,
"Oh yeah, that was funny."
And this broke the man's heart.
Yeah,
and she said hi to me, and we got like 5 seconds past, and I could tell he was waiting for like, and George too. Hey, no, it didn't happen. Oh. No, so he got another switch back up. He's like, hey,
I'm here also.
I'm the nice one, right? I'm the one everybody likes. And I heard she goes, wait, what's your name again? She was at home Googling that shit. That's a true story.
All right. Do you have anything else about today before we take a look at the profile for tomorrow that's going to make you guys have PTSD?
Not really. I mean, that's the map.
Then the profile.
I think the thing that stands out for me is just such a short stage. And I think for the average listener, you think, oh, cool, these guys get a nice little break, a short stage. Boy, that is not the case. They'd almost rather add 50K so that it chills. When you have these short stages, people go, the riders, I should say, look at it and they see this as an opportunity to go early and try and get away. A short stage is guaranteed to be animated from the very beginning. So, and then with a hard climb up to uphill finish, which of course we don't see all the time, but 17 kilometers at what was that again, Colton? Like 7%. It's a tough climb.
Yeah, and we just got a little update. We're going to get Matteo Jorgenson on, so we might take a little break and you go back to talk about this.
Yeah,
but it'd be fun to see what's going on with Matteo.
Let's finish with all of this show, and then if we're able to get Jorgensen, that's huge.
Perfect,
and we'll tackle that afterward.
So yeah, another flat start tomorrow. We can go back to that profile. Like Lance said, a super short stage. It's going to be full gas attacks, nonstop. I imagine it's going to take a long time for the breakaway to go. So what's going to happen is if a guy like Pogačar wants to go for the stage win, or a guy like Jonas, this breakaway, in my opinion, will be pretty easily controlled because it's going to take so long for it to get away. So I think somebody like that will go for the win tomorrow.
By the way, the Tour, this is only the second time. The Tour has gone over the Grand Colombier several times, or more than several times. This is only the second time that they have finished on top. The last time, I'll remind you all, was in 2020, won by none other than Tadej Pogačar. So he knows this finish. He's won here before. We saw him every day. He wants to race. We'll see. It's an interesting climb. If you go on the Tour website, you can break down the percentages of the final climb. It's very inconsistent, right? You have pitches of 9-10%, but then you have pitches of 4 or 5. Then you have some almost flat sections. So it's not those types of climbs. While you might think, cool, we got a little flat section in here, it almost drives you crazy. I mean, it's long. But there's some relief in the middle. Watch for Pogačar tomorrow.
Agreed.
Okay, so big GC duke out tomorrow. Could decide the Tour?
I don't think tomorrow decides it, but
Johan says it'll be decided in the next 3 days.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know if it's tomorrow. I don't know that final climb is that hard. We'll see. We'll see. Guys are there. Yeah, this is going to add up. It's going to come and bite them.
Yeah, and we know that Pogačar is now on the offense, and we expect to see that tomorrow as well, which obviously Jumbo knows the same thing. So it'd be interesting to see what their tactics are coming into that final climb. I'm guessing they're going to want to be surrounded by as many guys as possible. Wout van Aert, Sepp Kuss. I mean, they're climber guys to be with Jonas as far as possible on that final climb.
Cool.
All right. Ventum Tour trivia of the day. And a little clarity. Remember we were talking about the big box of names, 4,000 names.
No, right.
So every day from the correct answers, they're drawing a name that goes to the final day.
Okay.
So we will have 21 names to choose, or 20 names.
So it's like the playoffs, kind of.
Kind of, yeah.
Cool.
Yesterday's question, and again, this is to win a brand new NS1, their road bike. Who was the tallest person to ever race the Tour? That was Marcel Seberg at 6'6".
See, I had to cheat on that one, but he was my teammate. We used to call him the boxer. He got into a couple of fights, but a really nice guy, German guy.
Wait, tell me more about that.
Yeah, I like
he was
him.
part of our Mark Cavendish lead-out train. Marcel Seberg. He was just really great guy, super cool guy.
I never even heard of him.
You hadn't? No, great guy.
And
I should have known that. I mean,
How tall was Eros Poli? I think a lot of
about
people.
6'5", I think.
Yeah, I think a lot of people probably picked Eros Poli. He was such a character. Had a big following. Another guy, of course, Italian, that spoke really good English for some reason, but he had to be up there. He is a big old dude.
Who's that? Oh yeah,
Eros.
Eros, and he's a big fan of the show as well. Great guy. When we were in Tuscany, he was trying to connect with us to ride, and he's just a legend of the sport. And he just turned 60 years old. So happy birthday!
Yeah, we were minimizing guest appearances as we have been this tour.
All right, today's question.
So I have, by the way, when he says that, minimizing guest appearance, he gives me an allotment of guests per week. And then all of a sudden he tries to change the rules books on me. We had Monday rest day, so you think I have a new allotment of guests? No, he's like, no, you're done. No more guests. How does that work? You can just change the rules in the middle of the game.
It's like the Giro. You can just do whatever you want.
Listen, the George, you know, I've done a lot more work on myself than you have, as is evidenced by my my connection to things like namaste and gratitude and things like that. But one of the things you will learn if I ever get you to dig in for 4 or 5 days and detach and really go deep on yourself, one of the things is boundaries. And that's actually no shit, but it's let's have fun with it, you know. And so you just have, you know, it's like you got your yard, you got a fence around the yard, and that's it, right?
I like it. I like it. Boundaries.
All right, today's question to win the NS1: who is this year's tour oldest rider of this year's tour? Oldest rider. That might take a little work to kind of go through all the rosters and look up their age.
So you got more?
No, that's it. And when you find the answer, do your research, send it to trivia@ventumracing.com.
So I know we usually go to questions after this, but we have Matteo on the line, so I think we should pull him up.
Hey,
Matteo,
hey, buddy.
on the team bus.
He's not at the hotel.
No.
I'm not at the hotel. We were about 3 minutes away.
How are you, bud?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Another amazing ride.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I have to say today I'm probably the most disappointed as I've been. But, yeah, I had really good legs and just couldn't find myself solo like I needed to. But, yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah, well, we don't want to keep you on too long, but I just want you to talk to us about, you know, you're in a really good state of form right now. Talk to us about how are you making these breakaways? Are you teeing off anybody? Or are you just going when it's super hard and everybody's at the limit? What's your strategy? Because you're obviously making the hardest breakaways to make right now.
Yeah, I wish I could say that there's some science to it, or I know some secret. But,
it's a feeling for sure.
Yeah, it's a feeling. It's also today it was like you had to just kind of sit there and wait for when it got hard. Like you can't go on the flat when you know 70, 100 guys want to be in the break. You have to wait until the climbs come. So you kind of just have to, in the flat, make sure you're well positioned, but only kind of follow moves when it's on the climbs, because then, you know, only a few guys can follow. And then there's just a lot of luck involved, you know. You kind of go when you feel it's right. You follow a guy that you think wants to be in there, and then you hope that, you know, somebody hesitates on your wheel and doesn't follow you. I mean, that's all there is to it.
Are you getting help from your teammates at that point, or this is all you on your own, just floating and looking for the right move when you feel that it's time to go?
No, we're all participating.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, we have right now 7 guys, and the only objective that we have is on days like this being the breakaway. So we're all taking turns following moves, and that's really the key, is that we have so many guys doing it, because you can't follow every move. You can only follow, 3, 4, 5 max. And yeah, when you have 7 guys kind of rotating and always following something, you can assure yourself that we'll be in there, at least one of us. So.
Hey, Matteo, it's Lance here. How's it going, man?
Good.
I got a quick question. I know that obviously within the team, guys talk, and so, but I also know that within the peloton, you have your friends in there. You talk to other guys, and what is the? I just keep watching these stages. I keep watching the total amount of climbing. Obviously, the heat is coming on. What is the consensus in the peloton? I guess what I'm asking is, how tired is this peloton?
Pretty tired. I think you see it. You see it on days like this when the start is so hard, and so many guys. It's like so many teams right now have the ambition to be there, but then once you get into the stage and it starts getting hard, and you go over one climb full gas, and then you're on the second climb, you start to notice that, okay, there's only really 10 guys right now that have the legs to actually make it in the move, and then you look back and there's just a long line of guys who are just kind of trying to, at that point, get through the stage. So I think you see every day fewer and fewer guys who actually can realistically make it, at least when it goes on an uphill.
Well, that's a testament to you. I mean, you're a young rider. How old are you now? What is it? 23?
24.
24. But for a young
Just
rider,
turned 20.
I mean, hats off to you for being able to, to ride through it and still be at the front and find the moves. As you said, I mean, now we're getting to these days where guys just start slipping off the back. But for a 24-year-old kid and staying aggressive, man, you gotta. I know it's disappointing today, but you have to, I think, take the momentum of just being there and build on that, and just don't give up.
Thank you, Lance. Yeah, I think that's definitely true. I hope there's at least one more opportunity for me this tour.
Yeah, I know you don't want to give away your playbook, but do you have anything upcoming earmarked as something for you, or is it just a day-by-day feel?
To be honest, today really felt like my last chance. I mean, I don't want to. I'm definitely going to keep trying. I have nothing else to do. But
You're there.
My size, how much weight I carry, and once we get into the real Alp stages and you start going up, hour-long climbs over and over, it's going to be a bit tough for me. But that's not to say I'm not going to try. Maybe after we get through the Alps, there's those medium kind of days where it could be a sprint. Could be fun. It could be a breakaway if guys are really tired. So those days I'll definitely try, and we'll see.
Cool.
Awesome.
Matteo, thanks for coming on. Tell your mom hi, please. I communicate. We've never communicated, but your mom and I communicate on Instagram about just how you're doing. The other day, I felt bad for your mother. You were in the break. She actually messaged me back. She was on the flight, and I said, "Shit." I said, her son's about to win a stage in the Tour de France, and you're on a plane. I felt so bad for her, but please tell her hello.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank
Matteo.
God I didn't win. Thank you guys.
All right,
buddy.
We appreciate you. Good luck. Get some rest. Thanks, man.
I
Bye.
will.
Yep, bye.
Well, the kid doesn't. I mean, what do I know? He didn't look very tired.
He didn't.
I know,
God
it didn't
dang.
look like he just had that.
And you could see the frustration. And I didn't want to take too much of his time, but he's basically he knew he had the legs to go with Izagirre, but in a breakaway like that with such strong riders, it becomes a chess match, and it becomes a guy like Izagirre who's got a teammate in Gael Martin in the breakaway. It's really hard to key off of both of them. But it wasn't a lack of legs to go with to go with Izagirre.
I'm sitting here going, who is Gael Martin?
Guillaume. Okay, you got me. It wasn't a lack of legs why he lost the race. It was just that one moment where Izagirre goes and there's a hesitation and he's gone. But you saw how strong Matteo was behind and trying to get him and not getting much help from his other breakaway counterparts.
He doesn't need to worry, nor do his fans or fans of American cycling who ask us every day pretty much of who's up and coming. This kid's going to win plenty of bike races. So it may not be this tour, but there's going to be plenty of podiums for Matteo.
Couple of quick questions.
I have one little fun thing too. Yesterday, George is doing all this. Speaking of, he's getting his ass kicked in training, in the gym, on the bike, but he's trying everything. He obviously the hack with the Element T in the morning. He went and got in the river yesterday after the ride.
Cold plunge.
It was like an all-natural cold plunge, 5 minutes. He's trying that. He then also got a massage, and I think he got some sort of laser technology, something.
I did.
But he was getting this massage, and I was like, yeah, always looking for a good masseuse. I was like, was it good? Was it deep? Was it, and then somebody else. And then he says to me, I'm a massage connoisseur. I was like,
I've got massages for the last 30 years. I feel like I can take out a good massage.
Could you be more specific on that?
Okay, moving on.
I'm a massage connoisseur. Jeez.
Massage magazine.
I don't even know the last time
From the
I had a
patient
massage.
perspective. Could be a thing.
Well, I just don't like to get a massage and get petted, That's the worst thing where people put lube on you and just pet. I need some deep deep That's what I need.
George has a new blog. It's we'll probably put it out under the We Do umbrella. It's the massage connoisseur dot whatever.
We can do a show.
No petting.
Yeah.
No petting. Actually, that could be another T-shirt. No petting. We do the move.
Oh boy.
Lance and George, I'm heading to the French Alps next year with my dad to celebrate his 65th birthday by riding Alpe d'Huez. What a cool daughter.
It is.
Hopefully in 65 minutes. That's the goal. Any tips for riding the 21 bends? That's from Chloe in Wales.
Well, make sure you stop at hairpin 19 and just have a look up at the sign. I selfishly speaking here, believe it or not, yours truly still has his name on the sign on bend 19. And I think there's another bend too. They put your just so you know, they put your name on one of the bends after you have won on Alpe d'Huez. So, but in all seriousness, what I would do because it is a hard climb and it goes on and it's kind of relentless, but there are so many switchbacks. Just always stay to as far outside as you can. I mean, the outside of the hairpin versus the inside, especially on Alpe d'Huez, is probably, again, don't you damn scientist nerds get on me about this, but it feels like it's 3-4% difference in gradient. So just stay as far out as you can.
Keep the momentum.
Because the outside of those switchbacks is, really levels out. So use that as recovery as you're climbing up, and then, disclaimer: be a little careful when you're taking a right switchback. Don't go all the way left because cars are coming
disclaimer,
down.
it is longer as well.
I don't think she cares if it's longer. I think we're trying to get there easier.
Yep.
But I do think people, because that is the people get fooled, think, well, this is the shortest line, but it's a lot steeper. Just stay on the outside. If you think it's gonna be a long, hard climb, stay outside.
Good tip. You're gonna like this question or this email. Love the show and enjoying the sessions this year. There is one thing that is concerning me. I can't help but notice that George seems a bit off this season.
I agree.
Oh my goodness.
I agree.
Pastries, clubbing, missing AM gym sessions. I understand that everyone
I haven't had one pastry, thank you.
Wait, I understand that everyone has an off season, but just wanted to check in and let him know that we love him in any case. That's from Catherine in San Jose.
I'm getting better. I'm getting into the race. Every day I'm getting stronger. I'm a stage racer by heart, so towards the end I'll be 100%.
Catherine, he came in, as if you were listening in the beginning, he came in on fumes because he came from his 50th. If you saw him on the preview show, I mean, this some bitch was a dead man walking. And so he has recovered. He is coming back. We're still not back to normal George form for the move in the summer. But again, he's trying all these things. Hell, he's getting massages and lasers and cold things and that Mont Kush everywhere and fucking ketones, everything, So he's getting better. But you also left one thing out.
I'm getting a call. What?
Hold on.
Yeah, I was calling about that cream that Lance was asking for. You got it? Okay, all right. We'll be there in like 10, 15 minutes. Pick it up. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Sorry. Oh shit. Sorry about that.
You forgot about the.
didn't mean to bring up the cream.
You
but
forgot about the permanent reservation he has at the W's rooftop pool.
The velvet rope section.
Yeah. No shirts mandatory.
All right. On that note, we'll wrap it up. Send your questions, themove@wedo.team.
And thank you, Matteo, for jumping on.
Yeah,
we love you, buddy.
very, very cool. That's
Yep.
y'all don't know. That's a big, that's a. It's not. I mean, you don't want to do that when you're done with the stage. You're heading to the hotel. You're thinking about massage and recovery and all these things.
And two heartbreakers for him in this tour. But man, he's looking good.
Have a few slappers like us call him up and ask him to get on Zoom. That's a big move.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a second
boomstick.
Second boomstick of the day to Matteo.
Boomstick. Thank you
for coming on. And seriously, Mama Matteo, hello. All right. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see y'all tomorrow.